All right, we're gonna attempt to put these two ZebraLights, a flooding and a regular beam, onto this special holder that will hold them both. But the problem is when you get this special holder, which you can get from Intermountain Outfitters, they have two different kinds. The one like this where you can mount it directly to your helmet, but they don't recommend it for legal and liability purposes. Or you can get one of theirs that will attach these two together this way, with this one holding on to your helmet by the regular strap that it comes with. We have chosen this so we don't have any problems with straps getting snagged. This is for caving. So we're going to start off with getting a very good caving helmet. It's the Vortex. And our goal is to put two small holes right about there to receive some screws, the longer screws, in order to mount this to the actual helmet and not to the helmet band that comes with these lights. So thanks to another YouTuber or someone online, I found out that these machine screws are actually number 10/32 machine. These are very short screws here, so I opted for 1.5. There's the original. That's not enough room to get through the helmet and hold the two ZebraLights. So I also bought, because they're so cheap to get all these parts, got two of these. This part will be inside. The screw will protrude out and we can cut the length down later. Two washers to hold them in for the inside. And I have a variety of nuts. These would be kind of cool if you wanted a quick way of changing them. These are regular and these are the locking. And I think we're going for the locking, and we're going to paint all of these so they're black so they won't stand out. And very quickly, now I can move this now that everybody knows where that's from. You're going to need a screwdriver because of that. And you're going to need some way of holding the nut. Crescent wrench fine. You need some way to drill a hole. And you need your flashlights. Just a word of caution. This helmet is supposed to not be messed with. You're not supposed to drill through it. It could crack. It could cause all kinds of safety, liability, blah, blah, blah. So if you're a purist or something, then don't do it this way. You can just go on that Intermountain Outfitters and get the clamp that just holds them this direction onto the original strap. But we're not going to do that. We want a clean look and we don't want the strap being messed around, crawling and stuff. So we're going to do it this way. I didn't see a video on YouTube, so I'm going to try to make this up as I go. Okay, let us begin. We're going to mark on the plates. The screw is going to be put into this plate, so that'll be on the outside. The one closest to the helmet is this one, where you're going to just pass the screw through. It's hard to do with one hand. I'm going to just pass this as going inside the helmet through this direction. And then it's going to screw into this plate. So I'm going to put this down and get things set up. All I'm going to do now is place this center to where I want it on the hat. Then I'm going to take a pen and put it through those holes and mark it. And I don't know if you could see, but I've marked a couple spots with Sharpie. It's a different color. I'm going to drill through those, and to be very careful not to hit the headband, I'm going to unscrew this little holder, the flathead. Let me pause and take care of that. I am just going to unscrew this so I have some access. I'll move it out of the way so don't accidentally drill through anything. So I'm just going to unscrew that and I'll come back after the next clip with it off. When you take that screw out, hang on to it. It's super small. You can see that it has some Loctite on it. Now I have the band out of the way so I can start supervising this a lot better. Now this part that's webbed here, that's just for the rim. We're going to be going where it's a little thinner where the words are here. So let me begin. Just enough to make a mark. Double check inside that it's not interfering with anything. Feels good. Obviously they're going to be bigger than that, but I'm going to take it very slowly because remember, you want the plate that doesn't have the receiving end of the screw in it, just the open end. So that's lining up really nice. And I'm going to graduate up because we don't want to crack any of this. This is what it looks like inside. See the light through there? Okay. I got a long way to go. Here's the next one. I'm going to go up a little bit bigger. You can see it's not quite as big, but like I said, I don't want to crack it. Little by little, you can see that it's not going to fit yet. I'm going to go up a little bit more. Here's a 3/16 drill bit, so let's try that. It's looking pretty close. It's kind of scary drilling through a brand new expensive helmet, but oh, that was easy, too easy. That's when it comes advantage to having drilled slowly up, so you don't have to rip everything out. Take a look inside here. Now let's see if we could slip this through. Almost, it's just almost there. Feels like it would be 3/16 if I forced it, but I don't want to do that. So I'll go up one more, which would be the 13/64. This will give it a little bit more room. Take it super, super careful. Make sure the headband's out of the way. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. Once again, disclaimer, you go drilling into a perfectly well safety approved helmet, it's not going to be the same integrity. So that's all I'll say about that. You guys are adults. There it is. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. So let's do a dry run and see how it all looks. Oops. I want to put a I don't need to do this, but let me see how much space it will take up if I put The whole idea is to try to keep this profile as close as possible so that your head isn't gonna, can you see what I mean? You don't want your head to hit that. That's the bad part about it. I think I can get away without the washer. I got one since I was at the hardware store, so this head is wide enough and it'll help me get that as close as possible. So when you do hit your, this shouldn't hit because you can tighten this snugly, so it should be about right there. So there should be no problem if you do have an impact. Okay, let's see what happens. I need the one that passes through. Uh-oh, I'm already seeing a little bit of a problem because of the curve. Okay, that received it nicely. Now we're going to just get it started. By the way, these have two different sizes. The smaller one up here makes it look like you're not going to be able to put the zebra in it, but it fits just fine. I'm going to actually push these bolts in a little so that I can just turn them from inside. Hope you could see this because I'm trying to do this and record at the same time, which is kind of hard. There's nothing on YouTube about this, guys, so this is just a mom trying to figure it out. Okay, if I can figure it out, y'all can figure it out, right? So I'm not going to attach this band yet because I'm just doing a dry run. Get one of your zebras, depending on if you're left or right-handed, and if this is a floodie and you're not going to use it as often, then, you know, put it on the opposite side, you know, because when you're in a cave, you're busy trying to not fall and stuff. All right, another helpful hint that I got off the internet, y'all, just unscrew the back of these a little bit, so when you press the button here and you're installing them, it's not going to turn it on and you're not going to waste your battery. So I loosened the caps on both of these so that I wouldn't get blinded while I'm doing this. So this is how it goes. Let me try to tighten it a little more by hand inside. So I just want to see what it looks like before I go painting the screws here, because we do want it to look kind of sweet. And this is where, okay, it's not tight because I don't have a screwdriver right now, but I'm just looking at it for aesthetics. Gotta show you. Look how nice that looks. It's not on tight, mind you, but I just wanted to see where it looks in the center or not. All right, let me switch out to a Phillips screwdriver and just dry mount it real fast. All right, it's super important to not reattach this. See that little thing right there? We don't want to reattach this yet because we need to use the, you need to tighten it with this, and you need the space. So I'm just going to tighten it up so we can all get an idea of how secure it is. I don't even have any nuts on it. This is just being tightened within the mechanism that's provided. Oh, I should have paid attention to what I was doing because I just turned all this by accident. Let me loosen it up. It's a good lesson for us all to learn at the same time. Okay, get the, obviously you want to get them in the place you want them and then tighten them up. Now you're going to probably be tilting them a little lower instead of super straight, but I can make this loose enough to where they're going to stay and they can be hand manipulated if necessary. Okay, so there they are. Hooray. So your options from this point, if you're not like me and you don't want to paint them, I heard somebody told me about doing this, which is kind of a cool idea. Just throw some wing nuts on there. You can get them on there. When you go pick up your machine screws, all this stuff is right there. So you can end it at this if you're not don't even care, you don't mind being called a wing nut. You can end it like that, right? And then you're done. super easy to unscrew these, but remember, just because you unscrew these doesn't mean this is going to come off, because remember, they're screwed into this plate. This plate receives it, so you can literally just cut these down, call it a day. But somebody mentioned that they were going to do that on the internet, so I'm like, well, they're only a couple cents each, you might as well see what it looks like. But you'll still need a screwdriver, because look, with all this out, they're not going anywhere, because like I said, they're screwed into this plate. You don't even need a locking nut or a regular nut, but we're going to shorten the screw, put the locking nut on, that way it's a nice clean look. You shouldn't have to do anything changing the batteries. You just pull this out right here. There's plenty of room for all that. You just change the battery, right? So it's a little tight, but you can do it. I got big hands. So that's the way I did it, y'all. So I'm gonna cut these down. I'm gonna put a little mark. You can see the space there between the two. I don't want to tighten it too tight, because I want to keep the integrity of the helmet. So we just need it on there enough so it isn't going to move. So let me stop recording here, and I'll show you what my next steps are for my particular project. Got them all sprayed black and purdy. There's the other side. Gonna wait for those to dry, and then I'll show you the next part. I did cut them down with using a Dremel. Get yourself a Dremel with a cutting tool tip, and it'll cut them right off. You can see how much I cut off. All right. Okay, I got everything spray painted black. It's a little bit wet, and the weather's changed on me, but I'm gonna try to get this going before this thunderstorm hits. There we go. Boy, it's a little tacky still. There we go. I'm gonna put the floody. Uh-oh, I think it's starting to rain. I'm gonna have to stop here in a second, I think. I'll try to get going on here. Let me see left. Yeah, the floody over there. That's about right. And I have to hand screw them in so they go into the adapter. Got a wonderful storm. We need the rain here in summer. It's a little tacky. I probably have to touch up the black a little bit. But using a Dremel is the best way to cut the tops of these. Let me freeze it a second. Okay, I kept the band disconnected in order to reach this area here. Two storms. Before I tighten it too tight, I want to go back and make sure that everybody's pointed forward. Try to hold it in place. You really don't need a lock nut on this, but because this does fit into the bracket just fine, I'm not going to do it too tight. Let's take a look. That looks good. One of them I accidentally didn't cut down enough, but that's all right. I could always do it again. Get the thunder. This will be a little tricky because you cut them off. If you don't cut them off super straight, they'll... There we go. They're looking really sharp. So that's the end product. Trying to make it look as if it wasn't custom, just like you bought it. The cicadas are a little wild tonight. This afternoon, I should say. Okay. See how they're real loose still? Now I'm going to tighten it a little bit more in here. It's really pushing it against the plastic. I can feel the plastic. Okay. Let me screw these on and show you the finished product. There's the helmet. Look at that. See, it's very nice. I'll spare you for getting blinded. So there it is. Solid as a rock. It ain't going anywhere. So I hope this helped you guys, because I had to figure this out myself. Hope that helps. Here's the top view, side view, and like I said, it doesn't really need the nuts in the front because it's tapping into this plate, but the nuts make it look kind of finished. So remember the key, just kind of back these off a little bit so that you don't accidentally run your batteries dry. If you're in a wet environment in a cave, make sure you tighten these back up because that corrosion will get in there. The wetness will corrode it. And they're still, you can still tilt them. And it's looking great. I think this is going to work out super. If this helped you out, please hit the like button and share it. Thanks for watching. And like I said before, you can pick this special bracket up. You're still keeping it at Intermountain Outfitters, and they're not paying me, I'm just doing a service to everybody. Looks like it's www.intermountainoutfitters.com. all right, there's the finished product. Nice, look at that. Yeah, it is a little heavy, but it's gonna be okay. Oh, of course you want to go back in and put the screw right here. See that section there? Just pick out how big your head is and put the screw back in right here. I'm going to do that too. Okay, once you get that mounted, you can go ahead and attach the headband. Here's what I'm talking about in the front here. Here's this little strap with two adjustments. Make sure you put that little teeny screw back in so it holds the adjustment part of the deal in there. And you're ready to go. You can see that the screws that I put in are almost flush. See that? It looks like it won't hurt your head at all, but I think that once you put this on and tighten it, you're not going to ever hit that. All right, just a recap. You need to have number 10-32 machine screws. You can paint them or buy them the way they are. I got 1.5 inches and I had to cut them down. And then I also bought matching locking nuts. I haven't screwed them all the way in yet. You don't really need them. It's just for decorations at this point because it covers up the end of that. You drill the 2 holes, you use the plate as a guide, and you put in the screws this direction, paint them if you want. Of course, you had to take that off so you have access and you don't screw through that, drill through it, excuse me. Put the plate on and you got yourself some nice spelunking gear here. Look at that. Excellent, super happy. Thank you, Intermountain Outfitters. So glad you're continuing to make this product available to everybody so you don't have to wear a strap. But if you did have a strap, because the ZebraLights come with a strap, you would put the strap, it'll tuck in here, and it'll tuck in here, and on the other side. So you could do this without it, because it is a little heavy, but you could do it without it. The Outfitters makes a bracket that will attach to just the regular setup, so you can have two, but I just like it this way. All right, good luck. Be safe. Press like if it helped you out. Bye.